प्रणाम आप सभी को. First of all, I am paying salute you all, and basically you all know about the thing that pitra pakch is going on, and from past 3 years I have been organizing this event in the very big as a very big event. But in this year today, basically because of my examination and because of my busy schedule, I am not able to organize a big event. But instead of doing all those things, basically I was in confusion that what I would do in this pandemic session for the tributing my ancestor who is not with me. So finally I decided, means there are two types of things. Basically we can do two things for the insects which are not with us. The first thing is, let us suppose sometimes some people used to think about that in means we people used to perform some yag havan in our home for our insects in the pitra pakch. But this year I decided one thing, that how can I make something special for our insects? Let us suppose. So I decided one thing, that in this year basically I will speak something on Srimad Bhagavad Gita for my ancestors, for my Dadaji, for my great great, for my great grandfather, for my great grandmother, for my great grandfather, my maternal grandfather, and Mataji. All they are not with me in the recent days, basically because all those scam, one day everyone has to be die. So this is the universal truth. So that's why I decided that what I can do something special for my insects. So finally I decided that now I will perform some yag. There are two types of yag here. Yeah, basically one yag is basically mentioned in our karma kand, that let us suppose a square shape kund, when in which just we people used to put a lot of ghee in that, and a piece of wood, and basically we can also say that this is also a yag. Okay, but apart from that, when we people think deeply, we will find one thing, that is ki there is one another yag. There is one another yag whose name is Katha Puran Satsang. Okay, so in many religious holy book, in many religious holy book, there is one thing that is mentioned there, that our eye is one of the biggest kund, one of the biggest kund. Now not need to put any ghee, a lot of ghee and a piece of wood in the ear. Basically ear is the one of the biggest kund. Now how can we say, how can we perform yag? Because after thinking something, after thinking good, after thinking, let us suppose if we people are using to, if we people are used to think, listen to someone, and we people used to listen some Mahatma, Sant Mahatma, if we people listen to, if we people are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharat, any religious things that you can do. So basically all these things, when we people learn, when we people learn something from the other, learn something from the Sant Mahatma, when we people sit in the front of Sant Mahatma, basically we learn many more things. So all those things that are pouring into our ear is basically behave as like a lot of geese. Not need to do, not need to put all these things in the ear basically. So Sant Mahatma always says one thing, that there is no any kund as like our ear. So that will be better for us if we perform some yag as like this. If I used to say something about Srimad Bhagavad Gita, if I used to say something about Sri Ramayan, Sri Mahabharata, Bhagavad Mahapuran, or any religious activity that we can perform. So try to understand what is the motive of this story. That's why I chosen one of the biggest thing for my sector, that this is book is basically Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There is a difference between Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. Okay, so there is a Srimad Bhagavad Gita. that I accepted from my father, and that's why I am telling something for my all insectors who are not with me, and along with me. I hope that you all along with me, when you people will listen this video, definitely will also pay tribute for your ancestors. So motive of the story is that one of the biggest kund is our ear. We can perform many religious activity, we can listen to others, we can listen to Sant Mahatma, we can listen. So all these things basically make something special for us. Okay, that's why I decided to say something on Srimad. Now let us suppose some people from us used to think about that basically religious thing is special for us, and people start thinking about that, starts thinking about that, no, Bhagavad Gita, Sant Mahatma, any religious thing is basically different from my life. I would like to say this is not different. Many people used to say that he is Baba, he is Sadhvi, he is Sadhu. Yeah, basically you can say he is something special for as compared to we all. But according to, in accordance with me, I am saying that not need to think like that, basically. Because why I can say, why I can, how can I, why I can say such type of things? Because there are some reason. Okay, let us suppose if I am saying that many from us basically used to think one thing, that God is special for us, but we people used to make a distance from him. Why? If we people are saying that God is very prestigious for us, and on the other hand, just we people are making a distance from him. Why? If we people loves our mother, our father, it means what? We people always try to be close with the mother, be close with the father, and like the things that if we perform, if we want God, if we love with the God, definitely we people try to be close with the God. But instead of that, people starts scaring from the God, scaring from the God, net how can I do this, how can I do this, definitely if I will some perform something wrong, definitely it will be wrong for me. So does such type of, let us suppose, I am going to explain through a practical example. Let us suppose in the front of our family, in the front of our father, mother, if we people did something wrong. Now see me, our parents, what did with me? Only they used to say some non-text words for me, but after that everything is okay. That's why I am talking to you all that one of the biggest problem of we all is that we people used to think, that no, Bhagavad Mahapuran, any Sant Mahatma, any religious thing is basically different. But I am not saying that. According to, in accordance to with me, this is not different. According to me, all are practical. Bhagavad Mahapuran, any katha is a practical thing. Let us suppose when we people visit to any laboratory, where what we will find, that we can perform any experiment there. After that, where after experiencing something, that you will find that you will get the some results. So basically this is also a practical thing, this is also a part of laboratory. Okay, and from here we can get the answer, from here we can get the things, definitely. Pause kar do. So finally we people are going to watch the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, and we are venturing into the Bhagavad Mahapuran, and finally I chosen one of the important means the basically the in the starting of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, there is one thing that Vyasji used to mention there. So that's why I am chosen that, because you know sometimes because of, instead of doing many activities, sometimes we can use a single things for instead of that. So that's why I chosen one slok from the Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. It is the first slok of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. On and in accordance with me, from I am my experience, that I would like to say one thing. That is, this slok is basically the moral of the entire Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. That's why I chosen this word. So first of all, I would like to say, explain this. जन्मादस्य यतो नया सृजित स्वभिंग स्वराट तेने ब्रह्म हृदयाय आदि कवि मोहयंती यत् सूर्य तेजोवारि मृदामि यथा विनिमयो तत्र सर्वोमिषा धामना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकूटम सत्यम परम धीमहि. Basically, this slok is composed of two parts. According with many Sant Mahatma, I am saying, because I am not a knowledgeful person. I am not a knowledgeful person. That's why this is not my experience. This is not my, yeah. Basically, I used to listen many Sant Mahatma. That's why I am able to explain some things because of grace of all those prestigious persons. I am giving such type of knowledge to you all because I am your brother. I am your son. I am not a Sant Mahatma. I am not a religious person. That why I am talking like that. I am as like you. That's why today I am in jeans. Today I wear jeans because you know why. What is the reason? Because I would like to say, I would like to aware the people. Why people are thinking about that now. The religious thing is different from no. This is not a different thing. Okay. Let us suppose when people used to sit in the front of any Sant Mahatma, we people starts thinking that no, Sant Mahatma is a very prestigious thing. It is a bigger. Yeah, basically, if you are thinking that someone is Sant Mahatma and you are saying you are thinking that now he is best as compared to, definitely he is best. But let us suppose I am talking like that. He is best means what you are. So not need to say such type of things. Basically, we should say if the frontier is basically prestigious, if frontier is better, if frontier is knowledgeable, if frontier is best as compared to me, that definitely in the future we people should try to implement all these things in ourselves. Okay, it means that if we can make as like this frontier, okay, but instead of doing all these things, we people start thinking that now he's very different, and along with that, just we people starts making a distance from there. Okay, this is our biggest problem. That's why today I am in a kurta, not I am wearing a dhoti. You know why? Because I would like to tell one thing in the pitra pakch for my all insectors, for all my respected respectful person, that Katha Puran Bhagavat is not a very different thing as we people think. Only this is the practical thing. This is a practical thing. As like a laboratory, we can perform an experiment here. We can get the result. And after getting a result, now it depends on you. Either you are contemplating on that or not. Either you are implementing or not. From my experience, I would like to say one thing. Sometimes it happens just we people start thinking that, you know, I am giving a very practical example. Katha Puran religious activity is basically like a cable. When people used to distribute the wire in the our home, in the everywhere, but try to understand that does not matter that the how long you distributed the wire. Okay, now the things that does matter, after distributing we will not find electricity. You can generate electricity, but if you want to glow your bulb, definitely for that you will have to connect the wire with the main line. Okay, so when we people start thinking about that, when people starts listening to someone, when people starts listening to Sant Mahatma, when people starts listening to other, and this is as like a wire, just we are distributing the wire, but when we people want to blow a bulb, for that just we will have to contemplate on that, and just we people should implement all those things in ourselves. After that you will feel some result. Okay, that's why I am telling, the one of the motive was only and only that I want to say that I wanted to say that basically Katha Puran, all those things that I am saying, this is not a practical thing. This is the practical thing. This is not different thing that people used to think. No, I am as like you. Tomorrow is my examination, so I am free today. So that's why I student this today for speaking like that. So that's why I am talking to you all, and that's why I am saying, not need to understand that it is different. It is not different. It is our part. Our hand is our part. Okay. Let us suppose sometime it happens just when people used to take food. At that time, just this is the practical thing that you can observe. What you people do? What we people do? Basically, what we will do? Means let us suppose if you are doing something, if you are eating food, if you are taking food, at that time what you will stop breathing? No. Breathing is our part. You can avoid taking food for some times, you can avoid taking milk for some times, but you can't avoid breathing. Okay, you can't stop breathing, because breathing is basically the one of the essential part of our life. You can't. That's why all those things that we are performing here on this earth is basically as like it taking food, as like taking a, we can stop all these things for the some time, we can pause all these things for the some time, but for at least a second, even a second, we can't avoid such type of religious things, because this is our आत्मा जिसको कहते हैं ना, आत्मा, this is our soul, because this is our spirit, this is our heart. Okay, person cannot alive without heart. Okay, that's why I am talking like that. So lastly I would explain one thing, why I chosen this slok. Again I am repeating this slok. जन्माधस्य यतो नया सृचित सोविंग स्वराट तेने ब्रह्म हृदयाय आदि कवये मोहियन्ति यत सूर्य तेजोवारि मृदाम यथा विनिमयो तत्र सर्वोमिषा धामना स्वेन सदा निरस्त कुहुकम सत्यम परम धीमहि. Basically I was saying that this slok is composed of two things. Many Sant Mahatma used to say that basically Vyasji is describing the two characters of the God. Two characters of the God. The so the first character is Tatastha Lakshan and the second character is Swarup Lakshan. Here God is characterizing by two methods, two steps. The first one is Tatastha Lakshan. There are two types of character. The first one is Tatastha Lakshan and the second one is Swarup Lakshan. So first of all, one is basically the Tatastha Lakshan. Why? From this slok we people can able to understand one thing, that why Bhagavat is Satya, why Bhagavat is truth, why in the initial condition, why in the beginning, just to the first slok in the Mahatma of Bhagavat Mahapuran is Satchidananda Rupaya. Why? So from this slok we can understand all these things. So that will be better for if you people used to understand the thing and starts going to implementing all these things in ourselves. The first part is Tatastha Lakshan. Okay, Janma Dasyata means what? Janma Dasyata means basically this is the Brahma Sutra. You know what is Brahma Sutra? There are 545 Brahma Sutra. Out of 545, the first one is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, and the second word is Janmadasyata. Now you people can ask that why it is first, why first is Janmadasyata. You know, try to understand what I am explaining from my experience. That I would like to say one thing, that Janm Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Let us suppose if you people are reading the book. Why you are reading the book? If you are taking interest, it means that your personal interest is involved in reading. That's why you are able to read. Okay, that's why it means that the first condition is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. First interest should be developed in our heart, that after that we will be able to understand anything. Let us suppose if I am speaking, that means definitely my interest was involved. That's why I am able to speak. Okay, so that's why I am speaking like that. Janma Dasyata means first condition is that how can we make a knowledge, how can we take a knowledge from other. Basically there are two things. Let us suppose in the, if you know, people know, try to know that in the first slok of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Sant Mahatma mentioned one thing, that Om Ajnanam Timiradhanasya means before learning something, before taking knowledge from other, just we people should understand one thing, that I am blind, I don't know anything. Now from today I am going to learn something. That's why the first Brahma Sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. First no means Jigyasa. Jigyasa means ability, means tendency to learn something. Okay, Jigyasa means ability to do something. Means first interest should be developed. If once interest is developed, definitely we will be able to understand everything. That's why after that the second Brahma Sutra is Janmadasyata. Janmadasyata means a source which is responsible for the creation and discretion of the entire world. And you can understand through the example. How can we, let us suppose, how can we, who is the creator and who is God is the creator, and we all are the creation of the God. Okay, so the entire universe is basically created from the mouth of the God, and one day every and the entire universe will go inside the mouth of the God. It means that God is the creator and God is the destroyer. But there is one exceptional thing: God can neither be created nor be destroyed. Are you getting my point what I am saying? That's why God are called what? Janma Dasyayata, a source which is the reason for creation of the entire world, who is the cause of discretion of the entire world, but neither can be created nor be destroyed. This is called God. Okay, how can we try to, I am giving very practical example. Let us suppose I have a pot, soil pot. Soil pot means मिट्टी का जो बर्तन होता है. Let us suppose I have a pot on in my hand. Try to, this pot is basically composed of soil. Before its creation that was only soil, and after, once it will destroy, definitely after some time it will again convert it into soil. Means try to understand, what was not there before, what was not in future, what will be not in the future. It means that was not in past, that will be not in future, that is only and only in present, that is called source. Means here we can understand one thing: soil is the basic things, soil is truth here, but pot is the creation from soil. And after, when this pot becomes destroyed, after that again we will find that things, means again the entire pot is converted into what? Soil. So basically soil is truth here. Okay, that's same like God is truth. We all are the creation of the God. The entire universe is creation of the God. Okay, so God neither be created nor be destroyed, but He is the reason for the creation of all these things. Janmadas yata. That's why the first character is Tatastha Lakshan, and the Tatastha Lakshan means, in this just they are saying that Yathato Brahma Jigyasa. After that, Janmadas yata means God is responsible for everything. God is responsible for everything, and God is basically important. Okay, now in the second topic there are very large meaning here that we can say many more things, but because of limitation of time I am not able to explain all these things. That's why now I am going towards the second part of this slope. The second slope is basically describes about the Swarup Lakshan. Try to understand what I am saying. तेजोवारी मृदाम यथा विनिमयो तत्र सर्वोमिषा द्वामना स्वेन सदा निरस्तपोकम सत्यम परम. Sometimes it happens not only with me, it happens with you all. I try to understand. Let us suppose when we people used to sleep, and in the sleep we people starts dreaming. Okay, some people just starts thinking that no, now I become a very poor person. Now I am. Some people just used to think that now I am become a very rich person. But after, when people got up, you will find out that now nothing happens, nothing happened. Yeah, I am as like same. Okay, now trying, let us suppose, means there are two words here: appearing and disappearing. Okay, let us suppose when we people starts traveling in the bus, so from a large distance, because of the effect of sun, waters starts appearing on the road. But when people visit there, you will find nothing. You know, means this was only and only the effect of sun. But when we people used to visit there, you will find nothing. Are you getting my point what I am saying? This is called, it means that this slok is basically indicating one thing, that under the guidance of the truth Paramatma, Param Tattva Brahma, Param Tattva Vishnu, means God is basically truth. So under the guidance of, means with respect to this truth, sometimes for a while, this Universe is basically appeared as like a truth, but it is not truth. Let us suppose if something is truth, pot was not truth, soil was truth. What was not truth, soil was truth. As like God is truth, but I am not truth. We people are not truth, because one day we all have to die. So means satya means what? Truth means what? A thing basically who stay every time. God was in the past, God is in the present, and God will be in the present when people will not. Okay, so there are many things that we can understand. So lastly, in this slok, they are saying that Sada nirasta kukam satyam param dhimai. In the same like, sometime just happen when we visit there, we will find that we found that there was nothing water there. It means that just there was a appearance of the water because of the reflection of the sun. In the same like as in the under the guidance of God, everything is just appearing as like a truth. Everything it seems like a truth, but it is not true, because every day after the completion of the life, one day when we people die, after that we will find that nothing was truth except God. So lastly, I would like to say one thing, people: don't say this religious thing is basically different from us. This is the practical thing. We can use this knowledge, we can all those things that we are learning from there here. Basically, when we people starts implementing all these things in ourselves, definitely we'll find changes in ourselves. I felt, that's why I am explaining all these things. That is my experience. When people start speaking something on particular topic, definitely why you are speaking, just try to understand, because you are experienced, you gained a lot of experience on that particular things. That's why you are explaining all these things. That's why I am explaining from my practical experience. This is not a religious things, this is the practical things we people can understand later. Lastly, I am lastly one thing that I would like to say. Let us suppose, I would like to give you an example. There is a family in which just there are six and 5 or 6 members. Okay, all they are living very happy. But let us suppose, if they are not connected with the customs, traditions, culture, and when we people starts thinking, when people starts listening to someone, when people starts to reading to some religious books, after that you will find that when we people starts implementing all these things in ourselves, after some time when we feel some changes, after some time you people will feel as like that, no, mother father is basically prestigious for us. You means as compared to other, just we people starts thinking something different for your family, for your God, for your entire family, for everyone. So this makes a difference. That's why I am telling you all. Lastly, on the holy premise of Bhopal, basically I am saying, in the holy period of pitra pakch for our ancestors, I said everything. So if I perform some mistakes, so forget me for that. Thank you so much.